The most important thing to remember when you're thinking about focus is that focus is transformative. Focus literally transforms everything about our work. It transforms the results. It transforms all of the relationships around your work. Shifting to from working without focus to working with focus actually transforms the nature of the work you're doing as well. So when we think about putting some time, some energy, even investing money into ways to improve your focus, whether that's work stuff or personal goals that you've got, recognizing that the money you invest into making focus happen is actually going to pay you massive dividends. The time you invest into making focus happen, you're actually going to get all of that time back, because it's going to shift everything about how you work, the way you think, everything about what's going on. I think of it like this. It's like you might be, let's imagine you are, certainly I'm not, but let's imagine you are like an amazing guitarist, right? So unbelievable guitarist, play all these different guitar styles, great performer, everything like that. And let's also imagine you've got like a beautiful, I don't know the brand names or anything like that, but like a super expensive, high quality, beautifully handcrafted guitar. Like, to play that, you're going to have to put energy in. You're going to have had to learn skills. You're going to have had to practice for hour after hour after hour to play that guitar. And nothing changes, right? You still, whatever's going on, you're going to have to play with energy. You're going to have to play with skill. But the difference with whether you've tuned that guitar or whether that guitar's out of tune, that's going to change everything about your performance, right? People are going to go, oh, that guy's a rubbish guitarist. Or you're going to feel like, oh, it's really unsatisfying to play this performance, or the crowd are throwing vegetables or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with the guitar. There's nothing wrong with the effort, the energy, or your skill set. But what focus is like tuning the guitar. It's like tuning up your workspace, tuning up your energies, so that actually you're getting the best out of all of your effort, and you're getting the best out of the skills that you've already got. So if you're like drawing a diagram, like sometimes all of our energies are like, our thinking is we're trying to think about more than one thing at a time. Like you get up in the morning, you've got all these things sort of spinning in your head a little bit, and you go, oh flip, I've got to get the washing on, and then got to make my porridge, and flip, I need to remember to talk to mum about the barbecue, and flip, time to go to work, and then you're driving up down the road to work, and you're like, forgot to put the washing on, because all of your energies are sort of out of tune. Your efforts, you look at you getting ready to go, but the effort's there, the energy there, you're just as skillful as you are any other day, but everything's out of tune. Everything's out of focus. And so if you think about like the idea of tuning the guitar, you think of the idea of maybe instead of going from this, you're maybe aligning your energies. Imagine all that energy from that morning was all focused on something more specific, more important. Like you'd actually have the ability to have an impact, to create a bit of a breakthrough. So sometimes you got to go from like a random energy system to an alignment of your energy, and sometimes you got to go from alignment to sort of sequence. Oh, I do this, then this, then this, then this, sort of prioritizing in sequence, so that your energies aren't wasted. They're actually producing the things that are going to improve your life, maybe improve your work or your business or whatever, without putting more energy in. I hope you get that. Like you're not putting more energy in, you're just aligning your energies and sequencing them, so you get this sort of impact that's going to make a difference. I can remember in my first year as a school teacher, I think I was 23, maybe I was only 22. It was 1999 anyway, if anyone wants to know how old I am. But in 1999 I had a job as a school teacher. I was the sports coordinator as well. It's like a cool fun job. And the school principal just said in one of the staff meetings early in the year, oh Jordan, you can organise the school sports day. School sports day is like athletics focus, so there's long jump, high jump, sandbag throwing, all sorts of quoits, obviously because you can't throw discus because someone's going to get killed, but all these different events, 200 something plus kids, 50 sort of parent volunteers come and help, lots of grandparents coming to watch their kiddies do a sack race or an egg and spoon race, and all the kids get broken up into little groups and they rotate around the stations. And the best thing about the job is you get to use like a megaphone with a siren and all that. But for a 22-year-old Never done anything like that before, and I was just like, yep, okay, yep. And then for weeks I was just like stressing, and pre-computers, no spreadsheet for anything, even like handwritten notes, no emails either. So like all the communication with the parent volunteers is all going to be by like the newsletter from the office that goes home to the parents. Like, I sound like I'm explaining something that happened in the early kingdom of the Egyptian Empire, but anyway. I was massively stressed, and I can remember sitting in the staff room, like with all these pieces of paper on the big staff room table, and my school principal, like the head teacher of the school, she walks past the door and sort of just looks in and sees me. And as I was sitting there, I can remember the feeling. Maybe you had it. You're so stressed that like your vision starts shifting a little bit. Like that early part of a migraine, and like the middle part, you lose all the central focus, so it just goes all blurry and a few black dots and stuff. I was just looking at all these pieces of paper. Again, totally out of focus, no alignment with my energy, no sequencing, no pattern to what I was doing. And the principal, our head teacher, sort of just amazing little piece of leadership from her. She just came and pulled a chair next to me, sat down so close to me that her shoulder was touching mine, so really close, looked in, just looking at what I was doing, and she just said, shall I show you how I did it last year? And I was just like, all the stress just goes out of me. And then she, probably, I don't know how long she spent, maybe 15 minutes. She said, first of all, you need to do this, then you need to do that, then you need to write the list of the parents. I can't remember the sequence, but she just said, she just helped me align my energy and sequence the process, so this impossible task became something that I could actually achieve. And it reminds me of some studies. There's all sorts of studies. Actually, do your own Google up of all sorts of actually really strong, reputable studies of just exactly how focus transforms our work. It transforms the results. Obviously, it transforms the relationships all around our work, and it actually transforms our ability to enjoy the work. And there's a researcher, Leroy, and her research really focuses in around on this. A key idea that she's looked at for 20 years is what she calls like a residual decision making type thing, or like there's this residual task in your mind. And how she puts it is like every unfinished task like remains sort of online in your brain. It uses up sort of thinking space. It uses up executive function. It uses up, I think, this is not from the research, but for my personally, it uses up emotional energy too. I get like a bit emotionally overwhelmed. I've got too many of those unfinished things there. And so the whole idea of that, focusing those energies, getting things sequenced, but also getting your energy aligned, allows you to actually have an impact, get those things offline out of your head. So that's a big piece of research. The other one's from McKinsey, and they did a 10-year study. Whatever you think of McKinsey, it's a pretty good study. Just looking at flow state, and again, that's a whole massive area of flow state. But what they found across a 10-year study around flow state with executive staff, because again, that's where they do a lot of their focus, is that what they found is that executives were reporting, and some of that's like subjective reporting, some of it's like there's some actual quantitative reporting as well, but something like a 500% increase in productivity when people are in that flow state, right? So again, when we talk about focus and something like a hyper focus, like a flow state, we're not talking about a nice to have, or maybe here would be a cool idea. We're talking about something that's going to transform your work. It's going to transform your energy. It's going to transform your ambition. That's whether you're talking about improving your marriage, improving your family shape. But you might be even thinking about improving your outputs at work, your enjoyment of work, all of that sort of stuff. Focus is just such an important opportunity for you to, if you can invest in the things that are going to help you focus, you're investing. I think you're getting in early on Bitcoin. You're investing in the thing that's going to produce, in many ways, the biggest sort of return on your output. So that's the key thing to remember. Focus is not just focus. Focus is a transformative power for all of your work. Hope that helps. If you're stuck somewhere, be in touch.